Just give me a minute. Okay. Topic for today is reflexive pronouns versus each other. Okay. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes, allow everyone to join, and then start. Okay. Okay, let's start with the basic question first. So what is a pronoun? What do we call a pronoun? Can someone tell me? Simple question. What is a pronoun? We'll look at the topic later. Can someone answer? What is a pronoun? What do we call a pronoun? Guys, I'm asking a question. Please reply. You just need to unmute and answer. What is a pronoun? What do we call a pronoun? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
What is a pronoun? Pronoun किसे कहते हैं?
Noun की जगह आने वाले को pronoun कहते हैं.
Excellent, very good. Guys, please reply. I am asking a question. I expect you all to respond. Okay. So yeah, very good. Thank you. So something
Sir.
that takes place
Sir.
of a yeah.
Sir, pronouns are the words which are used instead of nouns, sir.
Excellent, very good. Give me an example.
Sir, like she, like his, her. It's a replace of he is a his. Like she is a her, and like a he is a him. Like me is a mine.
Good. Now, okay, very good. So we all know that we all agree that a pronoun is something that takes place of a noun, basically in place of a noun and noun phrases, right? So they usually refer back to people and things already mentioned. Why do we need pronouns? Why do we need pronouns? In order to avoid what?
I, he, she.
And my question is, why do we need pronouns? Pronouns की जरूरत क्यों है? Why do we need to know pronouns? What pronouns किस चीज में मदद करते हैं basically?
Ma'am, sir, because of their use, the same noun is not repeated again and again.
Very good. Thank you. I was looking for that in order to avoid repetition. If I keep, mentioning your name again and again, that sounds bad, right? And it is it's monotonous. It sounds like, the repetition can be easily avoided when we use the pronoun. So yes, the reason we use pronouns is to avoid repetition and to refer back to people and things already identified. हमको पता है किसके बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं, उन्हीं लोगों के बारे में या उसी चीज के बारे में बात करने के लिए we use the pronouns to refer back to people and things already identified. Already identified meaning हमको पता है किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, right? So another question. We all agree that I and me are both pronouns. What is the difference between I and me as a pronoun, as a type of pronoun? I and me. What is the difference between I and me as a pronoun?
Sir, me is a possessive pronoun.
May I know your name, please? I'm sorry, I don't see your name here.
Soma.
Soma. Okay, thank you. Okay. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm just adding a couple of our learners. Yeah. Sorry, you were saying something. Go ahead.
So me is basically a possessive pronoun.
No, I'm not asking in terms of what type of a pronoun. I'm asking in terms of see, possessive pronoun can be not is not me. Okay, it's not me. It's a me is a personal pronoun. Me and I both are personal pronouns. I'm asking what is the difference. When you talk about possessive pronouns, those are different. Those are mine, yours, his, hers. Okay, those are the thing. Me and I both are personal pronouns. So I'm asking about specifically about personal pronoun. What is the difference between I and me as a pronoun?
Sir, so we can they say कि the pronoun like a pronoun I and me stand for the names of the person or person speaking. Like I am a Rupa. Like Rohan give me a watch.
What is the difference, guys? What is the difference? Your explanation is right. I agree. What is the difference?
What is the question, sir?
What is the difference between I and me as a pronoun?
Sir, actually,
Like this pen is mine.
Guys, one person at a time. If someone is saying something, just allow the person to complete.
I is used
Mine
as
is different. Soma, mine is different. I'm not talking about possessive pronouns. I'm asking about personal pronoun, I and me. That's it.
I is used as a subject, sir, whereas me is used as an object.
Excellent. Very good. This is what I was asking about. I is used, guys, as a personal pronoun in terms of a subject pronoun, and me is used as an object pronoun. So when I say as a personal pronoun, as a subject pronoun, means I, he, she, you, it, we, they. Okay, these are used as subject pronouns. What is used as an object pronoun for the same thing?
What's the question?
Me, us, you, him, her, it, them.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Excellent. So I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Personal pronoun, subject. Object is me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Okay. Sorry, Karthik, you were asking something.
No, sir. Actually, I didn't listen the question. So
Okay. No. I was just asking what. So if that's the subject pronoun, then what are the object pronouns? Good. Yes, that's correct. Thank you. So these are the basics of pronoun. Okay. Then once we know the personal pronouns, then we can look at other types of pronouns. Okay. Possessive, reflexive, interrogative, relative, demonstrative, whatever it is. But it's very important to first understand what is a personal pronoun, because personal pronouns are the most common one, right? Yes, the possessive pronouns are also very common. We use them regularly. However, it's very important to first understand the basic part of pronouns, which is subject and object pronoun. And then we're talking about the personal pronoun. One is the subject pronoun, which is I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Object pronoun, me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Okay. Just give me a minute. We will wait for another minute. I'm still adding a couple of our learners. Guys, I've sent the invite again. Please join. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's start with, okay. Anyone who can read Hindi? Deepak, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Deepak, please read the first slide.
Karan and Arjun looked at themselves in the photo.
फिर से पढ़िए. Start again. Themselves. Self नहीं, themselves.
Karan and Arjun looked at themselves in the photo.
Read it again. Karan and Arjun looked at themselves in the photo. So जोर से पढ़िए थोड़ा.
Karan and Arjun looked at themselves in the photo.
आप जो पढ़ रहे हो वो themselves पढ़ रहे हो. The word is not themselves. The word is themselves, plural. Themselves.
Themselves.
Themselves नहीं पढ़ते उसको पढ़ते हैं themselves. SELVES. V है, right? So themselves. That's how you pronounce it.
Karan and Arjun looked at themselves
Very good.
in the photo.
Very good. Go ahead.
करण और अर्जुन ने खुद को तस्वीर में देखा. करण ने अपने आप को तस्वीर में देखा और अर्जुन ने अपने आप को तस्वीर में देखा. करण एंड अर्जुन लुक एट ईच अदर. करण और अर्जुन ने एक दूसरे को देखा. करण और अर्जुन ने एक दूसरे की तरफ देखा. करण ने अर्जुन की तरफ देखा और अर्जुन ने करण की तरफ देखा.
So tell me, Deepak, what is the difference between the two sentences? पहला sentence और second sentence में English, both the sentences, what is the difference? Explain.
Karan and Arjun, they both seen the in photo. And,
फर्स्ट सेंटेंस, करण एंड अर्जुन लुक्ड एट देमसेल्व्स इन द फोटो का मतलब क्या है? खुद को देखा, राइट?
yes,
photo में.
in picture.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
picture. And
Exactly.
Karan and Arjun looked at each other like Karan
एक
looked
दूसरे
at
की
the
तरफ.
yes, each other.
Each other, एक दूसरे की तरफ. Yes. So when we talk about this particular sentence here, one is obviously using a reflexive pronoun here in this case, okay? And what do we call each other as? What type of a pronoun we call each other as? What does it do? When I say each other, what am I doing? Anyone can answer?
Reflexive, sir?
No, reflexive is the first one, themselves. That is a reflexive. खुद को देखना. But एक दूसरे को देखना, उसे क्या कहते हैं? एक दूसरे से बात करना. मैंने आपको एक सवाल पूछा, आपने उस चीज का मुझे जवाब दिया. उसे क्या कहते हैं इंग्लिश में? It's called reciprocate, right? When you reciprocate, that means you answer. So the second one is called what then? What type of pronoun is it?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocal. Yes, reciprocal. Reciprocal का मतलब होता है given, felt, done in return. Okay, done in return. So when you say each other, basically means what? You've done in return. What? Looking at each other. So I looked at you, and in return you looked at me. So basically means what? We were looking at each other. So that's called a reciprocal pronoun. So each other, then one another, these are called as reciprocal pronouns, where it reciprocates. The word comes from reciprocate. Okay, so reciprocal pronoun. And the first one is a reflexive pronoun. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, anyone has any doubt about this? Should be straightforward. And the first one is reflexive. Okay, reflexive pronoun. So we look at different reflexive pronouns like, myself, yourself, himself, ourselves, themselves here, okay, herself, itself. Those are all reflexive pronouns, okay? Just give me a minute. The reason we call reflexive as, why do we call it as a reflexive pronoun? Anyone? What is the meaning of reflexive?
May I say, sir?
Yeah.
Reflexive word came from the word reflection. Means the object has some reflection on the subject. Means the subject and object same about the same thing.
So the first sentence is incorrect, but yeah, the second, your crux of the matter is fine. Yes. Basically denoting something that refers back to the subject of the clause. So basically referring back to yourself is, the word comes from reflection. Absolutely. So that's why reflexive. Correct. Very good. So basically something that is something that denotes back to you, the person that you're talking about. So that's why you, yourself, myself. Okay. So words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, these are all talking about the same thing, same person. So I'm talking about myself. So that's why I'm reflecting back to myself. So that's why a reflexive pronoun. Okay. And reciprocal is reciprocating one another or each other. That's why. Okay. Good. That's the correct explanation. Thank you. Let's continue. Okay. Pratap, please read the next slide.
Yes, sir. God helps those who help themselves. जो खुद की मदद करते हैं, भगवान उनकी मदद करता है.
फिर से पढ़िए सेंटेंस इंग्लिश में, और थोड़ा स्लो पढ़िए, धीरे पढ़िए थोड़ा.
God helps those who help themselves. जो खुद की मदद करते हैं, भगवान उनकी मदद करता है.
Yeah,
themselves.
Once again. So when you read the word those, it's not those, it's those. Those. Okay. So God helps those who help themselves. Themselves. इस तरह pronounce करते हैं उसको. Themselves नहीं, themselves. Read it again.
Okay, जी. God help those who help themselves. जो खुद की मदद करते हैं, भगवान उनकी मदद करता है. Themselves, ourselves, yourself, etc. Reflexive pronouns हैं. Reflexive अपने आप कुछ करना, अपने आप के लिए कुछ करना. We helped each other in preparing for the exam. परीक्षा की तैयारी करने में हमने एक दूसरे की मदद करी. Each other, एक दूसरे को के लिए कुछ करना.
Very good, excellent, thank you. So God helps those who help themselves. जो खुद की मदद करते हैं, भगवान उनकी मदद करते हैं. That's what it means. So obviously
Yes, sir.
themselves here we are talking about. So themselves is related to which word here? Those, right? So it's
Those,
related
yes, sir.
to those. Yeah. So we're talking about those people who help themselves, right? So yeah, good. And second one obviously talks about help each other in preparing for the exam. हमने एक दूसरे की मदद करी. That's what it means. Okay. Thank you. All right. We'll look at some more examples later. So yeah, Soma, please continue with the next slide. An exercise.
Karan, this is Ali. Have you met each other before?
Meet या met.
Met each other before.
Very good. Karan, this is Ali. Have you met each other before? Okay. Good. Thank you. Ajanta, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Please read the next slide.
They love each other and will get married soon.
Yeah, they love each other. Absolutely. Just a minute. They. Okay, thank you. Let's continue. Karthik, go ahead, read the next one.
We decided not to ask. We decided not to ask for help and do it ourselves.
Ourselves, yes, absolutely. This particular sentence, if I say what is the sentence here? No, okay, it's the other way around. We decided not to ask for help. Decided not to ask for help. And what is the sentence? Okay. In this particular sentence, even if I want to add, even if I want to use it as we decided not to ask for help and do it by ourselves, is it correct? Is it grammatically
Yes.
correct?
I have the same doubt, sir. How can we use by in reflexive pronouns?
Yeah, so I'm asking a question. Is that correct or no?
Correct.
By is correct only, sir.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes the reason I'm saying that is because you'll come across these kind of statements where, see, the reason why do you use it by? You are using by as a preposition here to identify the person who's doing the action, right? So the reason it is used is simply to emphasize on the fact. But even if you don't use it, the meaning stays the same, obviously. But sometimes you'll come across these kind of statements because the speaker is doing what? Is emphasizing. एक चीज पर जोर दे रहा है कि हमने खुद से ये किया, right? So that's why sometimes you'll come across statements where even without the preposition, even without by, the sentence makes absolute sense. It's grammatically correct. But sometimes the speakers, sometimes people use it just to emphasize on the fact. Okay, that's it. Nothing else apart from that. And we decided not to ask for help and do it. Okay, what if I make the sentence, we decided not to ask for help and do it with one another? What is the meaning? What meaning changed when I used one another in this case? When I used the reciprocal pronoun, what is the difference? My sentence is grammatically correct. I'm asking you all, what is the meaning? What the meaning changed? My sentence is, we decided not to ask for help and do it with one another. What is the meaning?
Ourselves means by ourselves without taking anyone's help.
खुद से किया. खुद से किया. Yeah.
But with one another means I help you, you help me.
Yeah, very good. Anyone else thinks anything else? इसका हिंदी में क्या मतलब होगा? We decided not to ask for help and do it with one another.
हमने तय कर लिया है कि हम किसी से मदद नहीं लेंगे, हम खुद करेंगे.
खुद करेंगे, do it by ourselves. But I've changed the sentence. I've made the sentence as we decided not to ask for help and do it with one another.
एक दूसरे के साथ
Exactly. Yeah. So both of you are right. Absolutely. एक दूसरे के साथ. So like it's possible, right? That in a situation you both need help. Two people need help doing something, but they decide not to ask help and do it themselves together, or they do it for each other. That's what I mean. So the reason I use one another, each other is the easier one to understand, but one another sometimes people get confused. So to do it with one another means rather than taking external help, we did it for each other. So that's why this becomes a reciprocal pronoun in this case. Okay. So that's just a difference that I was trying to convey, how the meaning changes between ourselves and one another. Okay. So each other is more common than one another sometimes. So that's why people get confused at times with one another. But just remember, one another also means the same. It's a reciprocal. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Okay. Swati, go ahead. Read the next one.
Sir,
Yeah, just a minute. Let her complete this one. Swati, go ahead.
You should stop blaming yourself.
No, read it again.
You should stop blaming each other and take responsibility for what happened.
Exactly. एक दूसरे को blame करना बंद करो और खुद जिम्मेदारी लो. Yes, Karthik, you were asking something.
no, sir. Actually, I have read somewhere that we use each other when there are only two persons, and we use one another when there are more than two persons.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Each other. See, the reason is that each is the word that can be used with two people, right? So when there are
Yes,
two
sir.
things or two people, like each hand, I'm wearing a bracelet, okay, in each hand, right? So on each hand, basically. So each you use with two, one another. Yes, that's fine. In a group of 5 or 10 people, you can use one another. That's fine. Okay. But even with two people, you can use one another. It's fine because the reference point is those two people. Either you use each other, it's fine, or one another. Both are fine. It's fine. You can use one another. It's grammatically correct to say that, even with two people. But when there is a larger group, yes, probably one another sounds a little better because it's more than two people. Okay. But nothing wrong in using with two people as well. It's fine. Okay. Priyanka, the next sentence is, have you looked at dash in the mirror? You guys look so funny in these clothes.
Have you looked yourself?
Have you looked at yourselves? Self nahi
Yes.
hoga, selves. Yeah, plural, two people, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I want to see slides.
Yeah, I've already spoken to my colleague. I don't know why they. So as I mentioned that the person who's in charge was on leave at the moment due to some reasons, and the other person I've already escalated it. So you'll get a reply. Don't worry. I've already spoken about it. Okay. But my suggestion is just see if you can do something about it. Just you've tried to uninstall the app and install it again.
Everything I did, and at the last, when I failed in everything, so that's why I'm requesting you. And many times I send them the mail.
Is there an option to like kind of I don't know, maybe cancel the registration and re-register? Is there an option like that?
I don't know, sir. Login, logout, I know because I did that, but nothing had happened.
No problem. I'll escalate it again, stating that you joined the class and informed about it. So no problem. I'll ask someone to call you. Okay. Yeah. But yes, they did ask me. Good. Thank you for reminding. We need to know what is. Yeah.
Anamta ma'am said that, sir, now as Mrudvika ma'am is in leave, there is no active person to communicate with the pro members. So they need to wait for some time or...
You're right. Yeah, he's right about it. That's what I mentioned the other day. That so Priyanka, tell me the email address. I was asked about the email address you used to register.
Now, sir?
Yeah, on the app. Yeah. What is your email address? That day you were not sure about it.
No, sir. I am sure about it.
Yeah.
It is small p.
Sorry?
Small.
Yeah.
Lowercase p t.
Yeah.
506.
Yeah.
766.
1 second. 506 766. Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
@gmail.com.
PT 506 7660
Yes, sir.
at Gmail. Okay. Thank you. I will escalate. I was asked about it. Thank you for reminding.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's correct. So Mridika is on leave at the moment. So that's why maybe, getting a little streamlined. So, but someone will soon handle and you will get a reply, but probably a little later. So a bit of delay, so sorry for that, but yeah, we're working on that. You'll get to know about it soon. Okay, thank you. It still adding our learners. Okay, yeah. Abhay, go ahead, read the next one.
गुड इवनिंग सर.
Good evening.
सिंगुलर में रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउंस के पीछे सेल्फ लगता है और प्लूरल में सेल्फ लगता है.
Please continue. Abhay, read the next slide.
सिंगुलर माई सेल्फ, योर सेल्फ, हिम सेल्फ, हर सेल्फ. प्लूरल आवर सेल्फ, योर सेल्फ, देम सेल्फ.
Very good. Thank you. Let's continue. Okay. Shivani, go ahead. Read the next slide.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Karan or yes, sir. Karan and Arjun haven't met each other for a long time.
Yeah, that's fine. Karan and Arjun haven't met each other. Obviously, it cannot be themselves. Haven't met each other for a long time. Okay. Okay. What if I were to use in this case?
What, sir?
What if my sentence was Karan and Arjun haven't met each other in a long time? Is it the same?
In a long time.
Yeah. I can use the preposition in this case, right? So what is the difference? Is there a difference or it means the same is my question.
Okay.
Sir, I think in is not correct because we use for when we talk about the duration of a period. We use since like point of time, and we use for to talk about the duration of a period. So in for is more appropriate in this sentence.
Okay. Anyone else thinks otherwise?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think in is not the appropriate preposition for this sentence.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Can I use in here in this case? Karan and Arjun haven't met each other in a long time. What is wrong with that sentence? The answer is you can use it. There's nothing wrong in that. You can use for or in, both mean the same. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, for example, if I were to give you another example, let's meet, like we use in, right? Let's say, let's meet in an hour's time. मतलब 1 घंटे के टाइम में हम मिलते हैं. Okay. Similarly, when you're talking about a duration, okay, so basically what I mean is an indefinite, okay, basically something that is expressed in terms of time, okay, in let's say India, okay, let's say England has hasn't won okay. Let's say if I were to make a sentence, England hasn't won a football World Cup in decades. इसका मतलब क्या है? इंग्लैंड ने दशकों में एक भी फुटबॉल विश्व कप नहीं जीता है. So in this context also, again, you can use in. So when you're referring to time, it means the same. So both the sentences mean the same. Karan and Arjun haven't met each other for a long time. लंबे समय से एक दूसरे से नहीं मिले हैं और बहुत समय में एक दूसरे से नहीं मिले हैं. It basically means the same. So you can use in these kind of sentences as well. Okay. So that's why I precisely asked whether there's a difference or no. There's no difference. I haven't seen her. Like, for example, someone asks you, have you met him? And your answer is, I haven't seen him in a long time. Or I haven't seen him for a long time. Basically means the same. Okay. So remember, it means the same. You can use it in whatever way. As long as your sentence is grammatically correct, it's fine. You can use in and for, both. Both are correct. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Chandan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Chandan, go ahead. Read the next slide.
मेरे दोस्तों ने
कार्यक्रम का आनंद उठाया. My friends enjoyed each other at the concert.
My friends enjoyed, no, each other कैसे होगा? मेरे दोस्तों ने कार्यक्रम में आनंद उठाया. खुद आनंद उठाया ना? Themselves.
Third
Yes.
one, sir. Third one.
Exactly. My friends enjoyed themselves at
themselves.
the concert. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think we have two Chandans here with us in the class. So maybe so my friends enjoyed themselves at the concert. Yeah. Khud Anand uthaya, right? Yeah. The other Chandan, go ahead. Answer the next one.
आयुष ने अपनी कार की मरम्मत खुद करी.
Khud. Yeah.
Ayush repaired his car himself.
Himself, absolutely. Himself. Here again in this sentence also, if I say he repaired his car by himself, okay? Even if I say by himself, it means the same. It's just that you use by to emphasize on the fact that he did it himself, but it's not needed. In these situations, we try and avoid the preposition. It's not needed in this case because it's understood. Okay. When I say he repaired his car himself, means usne khud kari. That's what we understand. We don't need to use by in this case. Okay. All right. Rajesh, can you hear me? Rajesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, Rajesh. Please go ahead. Read the next slide, page 13.
राहुल सिर्फ अपने बारे में सोचता है. Rahul only thinks about himself.
Only thinks about himself, absolutely. Only thinks about yourself, different person, okay? The other person thinks about itself, cannot be right. Herself again. So here, if I say Rahul only thinks about herself or Rahul only thinks about yourself, are these sentences grammatically correct?
Yes, sir. Both are correct.
How can it be correct?
No,
No, sir.
Both about her. Both about her. About her, not herself.
Exactly. And
Her
what about
is
you?
we use for male.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I were to say this, I would say Rahul only thinks about you or Rahul only thinks about her, right? Yeah. So that's why grammatically not right. Doesn't make sense. So that's why here obviously
One more thing, sir. In the previous sentence, you said that we cannot use by, no, sir. Actually, sir, for example, if that means if to repair that car is very impossible, means it is a very tough task. But he somehow managed. He somehow managed to repair that car. Then, if I want to emphasize,
then you can use. No, I never said you cannot use it. I'm saying we don't need to use it because it's understood. But if you want to emphasize, that's what I mentioned earlier as well, you can use by if you want to emphasize that I did it all by myself. Like, for example, there is the reason we say it when we use by myself, like, for example, you are working in a group of 5 people, okay? You're a group of 5 basically, and there is a task given to you, but you were the one who did it, everything. So you can say that I completed the task by myself, So just to emphasize that it was not with the help of others, but I did it all by myself.
Okay.
That's why we say I did it all myself. I did it all by myself. Okay, that's why.
Okay, thank you.
ये सब मैंने खुद किया. वो चीज को हाईलाइट करने के लिए हम emphasize करने के लिए you can use it. Okay. Even if you say I did it all myself, it's not incorrect. It's fine. But by myself, emphasize the fact that मैंने खुद ने किया ये. Okay. Shima, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Read the next one.
Yeah. अपने रिपोर्ट बनाने में हमने एक दूसरे की मदद करी.
अपनी रिपोर्ट, yeah.
Yeah. Fourth one is right. We help each other with our reports.
एक दूसरे की, that's correct, yeah. Manju, go ahead. Read the next one.
Yes, sir. मैंने अपने लोहा खरीदा. I bought a gift.
I bought myself.
I bought a gift myself.
I bought myself a gift.
Okay, I bought myself a gift.
Correct. खुद के लिए तोहफा खरीदा. So I bought myself a gift. Okay. Not needed. For myself, not needed. I bought a gift for myself. It means the same as I bought myself a gift. Okay. Okay. All right. means the same thing, but when it's just that you don't need to use for myself. You can try and make it a little more crisp and say, I bought myself a gift. Means the same as I bought a gift for myself. Okay. Now the for diya nahi hai, so obviously that's the only option. Okay. Suresh, go ahead, read the next one.
Yes, sir. Raghav, did you make this presentation yourself?
फिर से पढ़िए.
Raghav, did you make this presentation? This presentation yourself?
Raghav, did you make this presentation yourself? Obviously, there's a question here. So yes, क्या तुमने खुद ने ये presentation बनाया? That's what it means. Okay. Pratap, go ahead, read the next one.
यस सर. देव और सीता ने एक दूसरे की तरफ देखा और मुस्कुराए. देव एंड सीता looked at each other and smiled.
And smiled, yes, absolutely. Dev and Sita looked at each other and smiled. Thank you. Deepak, go ahead, read the next one.
Yes. Ajay and Amar often write emails to each other.
Ajay and Amar often write emails to each other. Yeah, Ajay and Amar often write emails. Correct. Thank you. Yeah. So that's fine. The next slide, you all don't need to read it. This is something we've already discussed: personal pronoun and reflexive. We've already done the personal and the reflexive pronouns. The possessive pronouns are the ones that we use for mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, theirs. Okay, those are possessive pronouns. Okay, just give me a minute. Possessive ones.
Sir, is oneself a reflexive pronoun or not?
Which one?
Oneself.
Oneself can be considered as a reflexive pronoun. Yes, absolutely right. Yes, oneself is a reflexive pronoun because you're talking about the same person, oneself. Okay, so
How to use that? How to use that word in a sentence?
There are multiple ways. You give me an example. Give me a sentence.
Sir, to talk about general statements, sir, we use that, or any other way we can use?
So, give me an example. Give me a situation where then you can frame a sentence. I'm not able to think of a sentence, but give me an example.
Yeah, I also not able to think, but
Sir,
I know
sir,
that.
I can say.
Yeah.
सर आई कैन से किसी को भी अपनी ड्यूटी कर्तव्य निभाना चाहिए.
So yeah, good. One must follow. So then that can be one must follow one's duty, okay, or one must obey one's duty or something like that. No, he's asking about oneself. Okay, let's say oneself. You can say, for example, one has to, like, for example, in this situation, if you have to think of yourself, if I want to say that, then I can say one must think of oneself in this situation. Okay. The sentence that I've made is one must think of oneself in this situation. ऐसी स्थिति में स्वयं के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, खुद के बारे में सोचना चाहिए. So here you can use oneself. मतलब there's a difficult situation where everyone is in a trouble, the problematic times, basically difficult times. I am making a statement. One must think of oneself in this situation and not bother about anyone else. Okay, so you can use that in this context. You can also say, like for example, someone keeps getting blamed for something every time, and I'm making a statement that it's rather strange or it's unfortunate that one must defend oneself all the time. Okay, so these are the situations where you can use oneself as a reflexive pronoun. Okay,
sir, oneself spelling please.
ONENSELF, oneself.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You got it, Karthik?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So it's like, for example, it's awful having to defend oneself every time, for example, or it's difficult to defend oneself all the time. Okay, so yeah, you can use oneself in this kind of contexts. Okay, all right. So we've discussed these types of pronouns. What about the interrogative pronouns? What are called the interrogative pronouns, which are also, the relative pronouns are similar. What are relative pronouns? Can someone give me an example of relative pronouns?
Sir, which pronoun, sir?
Relative pronouns. Maju, your voice is breaking. Please check your connection. Yeah. Yes.
Sir, his.
I said relative pronouns, guys.
Sir, actually,
him,
relative pronouns are who.
Yeah.
I think who the person whom I saw there is my friend.
Yeah, right. Who, which,
whom,
that,
like that.
Who's, whom. Yeah. Those can be categorized sometimes as interrogative pronouns as well. We call that interrogative because when you're asking who was with you, anything that has got to do with a question when you use a relative pronoun becomes an interrogative pronoun anyway. But relative pronouns relates to someone. That's why we call it a relative pronoun. Like possessive talks about you possessing something, belonging to someone or something. We call it a possessive pronoun. Mine, yours, his, hers, ours, theirs. The reason, guys, please be on mute. There's some sound in the background. Yeah, thank you. So the reason we call it a relative pronoun because it relates to something or someone. Something or someone means who, whose, whom, which, that, okay, whosoever, whatsoever, whichever, okay, whomsoever. These are called as relative pronouns. What about demonstrative pronouns? What are demonstrative pronouns?
Sir, interrogative pronoun, what, whose?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, those are the relative pronouns. I'm asking what are demonstrative pronouns?
These, that.
Pronoun, sir.
These.
Yes,
this.
sir. Interrogative pronoun, what and whose?
Both are correct. Both are a part of the relative pronouns, but when you frame a question, it becomes an interrogative pronoun. Yes, demonstrative pronouns, as you all rightly mentioned, this, that, these, those. What are called as indefinite pronouns?
Sir, indefinite pronouns, someone, anyone, anybody, somebody.
Very good. Vague pronoun. We also call that as a vague pronoun. Why? When we use those, active, passive voices, when we don't know who the person is, that's when we can use the indefinite pronouns. Anybody, anyone, someone, something, anything, everything, everybody, nobody, these are called as indefinite because we don't know who we are talking about. Okay. So like, for example, anybody can do anything they want. Anyone can come and meet me, for example. Something, anything, everyone, everything. These are indefinite ones. And when we talk about, okay, just a minute.
So there is one more pronoun, dummy pronoun.
There's no category as dummy pronoun. There's one thing which we use as a numeral pronoun. Okay. What do we use as a numeral pronoun? Basically a number, just as a number. When we use the numbers cardinal numbers, right? Numeral pronouns are when you use the cardinal numbers 1, 2 or ordinal first and second, okay? Which take place of a noun in a sentence, that becomes a numeral pronoun.
No, sir, actually I'm saying about dummy pronouns. For example, if anyone asks, what time is it? Here in this sentence, it is means we cannot put some name to it. What time is it? Means yeah, these kind of sentences, the pronouns, we cannot put the names to means to this category this pronoun belongs.
It's like because they do not function grammatically as pronoun. That's why.
Yes, sir.
Those are also known as expletive pronouns, basically. Expletive pronouns, commonly called as expletive pronouns. The reason being that they don't function grammatically. That's why. So dummy ka matlab hota hai basically, refers to function in a particular sentence. Like for example, the right example, you shared a right example, where you use it as a dummy pronoun because, so like for example, I bought a burger and ate it. Okay. Got it? It is referring to what here in this case? To the burger that I bought, right? So I bought a burger and ate it. So it here is used as a dummy pronoun in this case. You're right.
Sir, here it is referring to burger, but so it cannot be dummy pronoun. Sir. When a dummy pronoun means we cannot put any name to it.
Yeah, you're right. What I meant is the referential pronoun. Yeah, that's correct. So referential pronoun, but maybe let's say if I want to use it in another way, let's say, give me another example. How do we use it in terms of the verb?
Right now, no examples in my mind. Only that example flashed suddenly. What time is it?
So let's say, for example, if I say it sometimes rains and it snows. Rains after it snows.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah. So it sometimes rains after it snows. Here you can use it in this particular way. Okay. But yeah, those are common. But anyway, the moment you use it, you understand that it's a pronoun because taking place of just as a noun that is not mentioned there. So here you can use it. The first example, yeah, obviously I used it as a referential pronoun when I referred it to the burger. But here in this case, it's like for example, if I ask someone, was it nice yesterday? When I say was it nice yesterday means what?
Yes, sir. We cannot put name for it there.
Yeah. Basically means what? Either if you've probably gone out, you were traveling. If you've gone out, when I say was it nice yesterday? Kya kal acha tha? When let's say you went out for a day, was it nice yesterday? We know what, like the person has, you and I are talking to each other and I know that you went out for a walk or you went for a ride yesterday. I just asked you, was it nice yesterday? Kya kal acha tha? So we understand it is referring to what? Yesterday. The fact of you being outside your house yesterday, that is what that it refers to in this particular case. So that's when you can use it as a dummy pronoun. That's fine. Yeah, good point. That is also, yeah, it's not considered as a category, but it's a part of the pronouns where you kind of understand that the person or the noun is not clearly mentioned there, but it's understood in the context. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So those are the different types of pronouns that we discussed. Anyone has any questions about any types of pronouns? We discussed the personal pronouns, subject, object, possessive, reflexive, interrogative, dummy, relative, demonstrative, indefinite, reciprocal, and numeral. Okay. So anyone has any questions about any types? I'm happy to answer. Like when I talk about the numeral pronouns, like for example, if I ask you, which car did you buy? Okay. My answer is, the person's answer is, I bought that one. Okay. Or which house did you buy? We bought the old one. Okay. Like, or for example,
sir, in your first example, I bought that car. Here, that is a demonstrative pronoun, no, sir.
No, I said that one.
Oh, that one. Okay.
That one, yeah, or that one, or the old one, or the new one, or the latest one, for example. Or like, for example, if someone asks you, if you attended probably a concert or a program, a cultural program, okay, and someone asked you, how many dances were there? Okay, your reply is, there were several dances. The first one was Kathak. The second one was, the second one was whatever, Bharatnatyam. The third one was a jive, for example. Okay, so the first, the second, and the third here refer to what? The types of dances. So that takes place of the noun, the dances. So that's why these are known as the numeral pronouns. So in this context, when we speak first one, second one, third one, fourth one, when we are referring it to a particular noun, you can call it a numeral pronoun. Okay, so it takes place of a noun in a sentence.
So sir, can we say simply like ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers are?
Yeah, exactly. I said that earlier. Yes, either a cardinal number or the ordinal number, where first, second, third. What was your ranking? I stood first in the exam. What was his ranking? He stood second in the exam. Okay, so first and second take place of what? The ranking. So that's why that becomes a cardinal number in this case. Okay. So yeah, ordinal numbers and cardinal numbers, when take place of a noun, we call it a numeral pronoun. Okay. So guys, please practice the pronouns in your free time. We've discussed all different categories of pronouns. Next time when we have a topic on it, we will discuss more sentences. I'll let you all leave early, and thank you very much. Have a great evening. Keep practicing. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay. Thank you. Take care.